Hello everyone and welcome to my Wyndar Insider 24 update channel. The Young and the Restless spoilers, October 21st, Phyllis places a risky bet. On The Young and the Restless, Danny and Cricket's happiness was ruined by Phyllis before. Phyllis Summers wakes up every day and tries to prove herself to her friends, her family, and the entire world. She wants the world to give her what she deserves, which is one of the reasons she is so irrepressible and unpredictable. As a result, over the years, she's done a lot of crazy things, and she's not slowing down. On Tuesday's show, watch for Phyllis to place a risky bet. Does this have to do with her ongoing business relationship with Kane, or a desire to mar Cricket and Danny's upcoming wedding day? Repairing fences on The Young and the Restless, Crystal Khalil and Brighton James are pictured together. Kane and Devon used to be good pals, but the way Kane left Genoa City after his father, Colin, tried to make off with Devon's fortune had led to some strain in their relationship. Devon is also dissatisfied with Kane's treatment of Lily. This might all change in the episode on Tuesday. Keep an eye out for Kane's attempt to reconcile with Devon. Building a connection with Devon might be the first step in achieving Kane's goal of making inroads with both Lily and their children, Charlie and Matty, Noah Alexander Jerry and Lexi Stevenson. No guts, no glory. On The Young and the Restless, Mariah might accidentally encourage Tessa and Daniel, played by Michael Graziardi. Mariah, despite getting some help in Boston at a clinic, is no closer to regaining her old life with her wife, Tessa, and their daughter, Aria. What's Tessa supposed to do? She's tried everything. Maybe Tessa needs to just let things unfold and let things play out the way that they're supposed to. Does this mean she'll lean into her friendship with Daniel even more? And would that imply that she and Mariah might never meet again if she does? Phyllis Summers, a woman who won't back down. Phyllis Summers has worked on The Young and the Restless for a lot of her adult life, trying to prove herself to herself, her family, and Genoa City residents. Both her strength and her weakness are her fierce independence. Phyllis has been a businesswoman, a mother, a lover, and, at times, a master manipulator over the course of her life. She's been betrayed, redeemed, and burned again, yet she never stays down for long. Her drive to be recognized, respected, and loved has often pushed her into dangerous territory, where one impulsive decision can unravel everything she's worked to rebuild. This week, Phyllis seems poised to take another gamble, a risky bet that could either set her back on top or bring her crashing down once again. Is she putting herself in someone else's love story or playing with fire in the business world? Given Phyllis's history with Danny and Cricket, it wouldn't be surprising if her actions were tied to their relationship. After all, she has previously interfered with their happiness, and old habits are hard to break. Fans are left wondering if Phyllis will once again cross a line that can't be uncrossed. Old flames and lingering jealousies. One of the relationships Phyllis has had with Danny Romalotti and Christine Cricket Blair that has lasted the longest on the show. The Young and the Restless history has been shaped by their romantic triangle for years. Despite her many attempts to move on, Phyllis has often found herself circling back to Danny, and, by extension, to her rivalry with Cricket. With rumors swirling about Danny and Cricket's upcoming wedding, it's entirely possible that Phyllis's risky bet has emotional undertones rather than financial ones. Could she be planning something to disrupt their reunion? Or perhaps she is attempting to demonstrate once more that she is capable of controlling both her own and everyone else's fates through a daring but careless move. For Phyllis, risk is part of her DNA. She doesn't shy away from confrontation or high-stakes choices, even when the consequences are dire. This defiance is what makes her one of the most compelling characters on the show. But it's also what keeps her trapped in cycles of self-sabotage. Every time she tries to earn forgiveness or stability, her impulsiveness gets the better of her, and October 21st might be another example of that tragic pattern. Devon and Kane, rebuilding walls while Phyllis stirs up drama, another storyline takes a more reflective turn. Devon Hamilton and Kane Ashby were once close friends, but over time they've drifted apart. The betrayal surrounding Kane's father, Colin, who tried to steal Devon's fortune, left a deep wound that time has struggled to heal. Add to that Kane's complicated history with Lily, Devon's sister, and it's clear that the emotional terrain between these two men is fraught with unspoken resentment. However, there are hints of reconciliation in the upcoming episode. Recognizing Devon's suffering as a result of his and his father's actions, Kane might finally take the first step toward repairing the damage. Not only could this be a turning point for their friendship, but it could also be a turning point for Kane's efforts to rekindle his relationship with his family. Lily, Charlie, and Matty have all been affected by the choices Kane has made, and healing old wounds with Devon could be the key to restoring balance in his personal life. In Genoa City, forgiveness doesn't come easily, but when it does, it opens the door to redemption. Kane's attempt to reconnect with Devon may not erase the past, but it could offer both men a chance to move forward, something rare in a town where grudges often last decades. Mariah, Tessa, and Daniel, a complicated triangle. Mariah Copeland, Tessa Porter, and Daniel Romalotti Jr. are involved in a second moving storyline. Mariah's struggles since seeking treatment in Boston have left her feeling distant and uncertain about her place in the world. Tessa, ever patient and loving, has tried everything to help her wife heal and find her way back, but progress has been slow. Their relationship, which was once strong, now feels fragile and is held together by love and hope. The spoiler suggests that Tessa may begin to rely more on her friendship with Daniel, which may develop into a more substantial bond if Mariah and Tessa's emotional distance persists. In Genoa City, friendships frequently develop into complicated relationships, and this one may be no exception. The idea that Mariah's own insecurities or emotional struggles could inadvertently push Tessa and Daniel closer together adds a heartbreaking layer to their story. Mariah has always been on a journey of self-discovery and retribution. Her connection with Tessa was a beacon of light, showing how love could transform even the most damaged souls. However, she may lose not only her marriage but also her sense of self-identity if she continues to isolate herself. The episode on October 21st may mark a turning point in the lives of all three characters, one that will reshape their relationships going forward. Risk, redemption, and renewal as themes. The October 21st episode of The Young and the Restless weaves together a tapestry of risk-taking, reconciliation, and emotional crossroads. Phyllis's gamble, whatever it turns out to be, mirrors the broader theme of taking chances, whether in business, love, or forgiveness. For Kane, the risk lies in vulnerability, in admitting mistakes and asking for a second chance. For Tessa and Mariah, it's the risk of holding on or letting go. Each storyline reflects the show's enduring ability to explore the human condition, how pride, passion, and pain can coexist and collide in ways that reshape lives. At its heart, The Young and the Restless remains a story about flawed people striving for connection and redemption. Phyllis may never stop being her own worst enemy, but her drive and determination make her impossible to ignore. Kane's journey toward forgiveness reminds viewers that even the most broken relationships can heal with time and effort. Additionally, Mariah and Tessa's emotional struggle encapsulates the agonizing reality of a situation-driven love. Phyllis plots her revenge. What's next on The Young and the Restless? Phyllis is capable of doing anything on The Young and the Restless Image. CBS. Phyllis Summers has buried the hatchet with Sharon Newman, but her other rivalries are still firmly in place. Her longest-running feud is with Cricket Blair Williams, and that is still going strong. Cricket has already asked Michael Graziadi's Daniel Romalotti to do everything in his power to prevent Phyllis from attending her wedding. But Daniel, who is busy helping Tessa with Mariah, may not be around to stop his mother. Watch out for Phyllis as she plots her vengeance on Monday's show. Does this include making Cricket pay for assisting Danny in obtaining custody of their son from the court in the past? Tune in to find out. Surprise, surprise. Nate Hastings is going to get a surprise on The Young and the Restless Image. CBS. Since Audra Charles failed, Nate Hastings has been feeling down, which is understandable. The man could use some help. Perhaps he'll get one on Monday's show when Nate receives a surprise invitation. Will Audra contact Nate and request a second meeting with him? Or is this a more social event that will get Nate's mind off his recent woes? Member of the wedding. The gang's all here for Cricket's son The Young and the Restless Image. JPI. On Monday's show, Cricket's bachelorette party is going to take an unexpected turn. Does this imply that the event will be postponed or cancelled? Perhaps she will combine the Danny's bachelor party with her gala. The reality is that Danny and Cricket never should have been torn apart in the first place. Phyllis duped Danny into thinking that they'd had sex and that he'd father her son, Daniel. While Danny thinks of Daniel as his own, there is no blood connection between them. Eventually, Phyllis's machinations were exposed and, as a result, her hatred for cricket has only intensified. Will Phyllis be a part of cricket's get-together's unexpected turn? Tune in to find out. Phyllis Summers has built a reputation on The Young and the Restless as one of the show's most cunning and unpredictable women. She's passionate, intelligent, and unrelenting, a combination that makes her both fascinating and dangerous. While she has recently made efforts to mend fences, including an uneasy truce with Sharon Newman, her rivalry with cricket remains an open wound that refuses to heal. For years, Phyllis and cricket have clashed over men, morals, and manipulation. Their feud isn't just about the past, it's about two women who embody completely opposite worldviews. Cricket represents justice, reason, and virtue, while Phyllis represents rebellion, passion, and survival at any cost. Their relationship has been defined by this balance of light and dark, making their confrontations memorable. Now, as cricket prepares for her long-awaited wedding to Danny Romalotti, Phyllis finds herself once again on the outside looking in. Cricket has already asked Daniel, Phyllis's son and Danny's supposed child, to keep his mother away from the ceremony. But Daniel, preoccupied with helping Tessa and Mariah through their own struggles, might not be able to keep tabs on her. And the risk begins at that point. Phyllis is a woman who never takes rejection lightly. When she's cornered or humiliated, she strikes back, often with devastating precision. The question isn't if she'll act, but how far she'll go this time. The ghosts of the past, old lies, old wounds. To understand Phyllis's rage, one has to revisit her history with Danny and cricket, a tangled web of deceit that changed the course of all their lives. Decades ago, Phyllis manipulated Danny into believing they had slept together and that she had given birth to his son, Daniel. In truth, Daniel was not Danny's biological child, but by the time the truth surfaced, the damage was already done. The deception tore Danny and cricket apart and set off a chain reaction of heartbreak, resentment, and rivalry that has lasted for years. Cricket's eventual victory, both in court and in love, left Phyllis deeply embittered. She never forgave cricket for what she saw as a betrayal, even though it was Phyllis's own lies that caused the fallout. Over time, their feud evolved beyond Danny. It became a matter of pride, of one woman refusing to bow to the other. So, when spoilers reveal that Phyllis is about to plot her revenge, fans immediately know this won't be a simple case of petty jealousy. It's likely a calculated plan designed to ruin cricket's happiness, perhaps even to sabotage the wedding itself. Phyllis has many tricks up her sleeve and a long memory to match, including emotional manipulation, blackmail, and outright public humiliation. Her vendetta could also be symbolic. Cricket and Danny's reunion represents everything Phyllis has lost: stability, love, and redemption. Watching them rebuild what she once destroyed might be too much for her to bear. And in true Phyllis fashion, she may decide that if she can't have happiness, no one else should either. Cricket's bachelorette party, a night to remember. While Phyllis schemes, cricket is preparing for her bachelorette party, an event that, according to spoilers, will take an unexpected turn. The nature of this twist is being kept under wraps, but fans suspect Phyllis may have something to do with it. Given her history of dramatic entrances and elaborate stunts, it's easy to imagine her crashing the party to make a scene or expose some dark secret. Cricket's loved ones, including Danny, are likely to rally around her, but Phyllis can strike when no one is expecting it. It will not just be about retaliation, rather, it will be about reclaiming the spotlight if she does disrupt the party. Phyllis has always struggled with being sidelined, and seeing cricket celebrated while she's excluded could drive her over the edge. Additionally, there is the possibility that Phyllis's actions could be detrimental. Phyllis's emotional turmoil frequently conceals genuine pain, and The Young and the Restless has a way of turning villains into victims. She might alienate the very people she wants to impress, including her son Daniel, if her plan goes off the rails. Nate Hastings and a mysterious invitation. Another character is about to undergo an unexpected change in the midst of the storm that is brewing around cricket and Phyllis. Nate Hastings, who has been quietly nursing his heartbreak after his relationship with Audra Charles ended, will receive an unexpected invitation. Whether it's a professional opportunity or a personal outreach, this could mark the beginning of a new chapter for him. Nate has been lost for some time, unable to strike a balance between integrity and ambition. He has questioned his path after his demise in the business world and his failed romance with Audra. The invitation might serve as a chance for him to rediscover his confidence, or it could draw him back into dangerous emotional territory. If Audra is the one reaching out, Nate could be tempted to rekindle a connection that once brought passion but also pain. Nate's storyline provides a counterpoint, the possibility of renewal, in a week that is dominated by retaliation and regret. Still, surprises in Genoa City rarely come without conditions. Love, lies, and legacy. The upcoming episode is a reminder of what makes The Young and the Restless such an enduring soap opera. It's not just about love triangles or business rivalries, it's about legacy, the way past decisions echo across generations. Phyllis's deception decades ago continues to shape the lives of Danny, Cricket, and Daniel. Every lie she told has left a scar, and every act of revenge deepens those wounds. Yet, there's something tragically human about Phyllis. A woman with a need for acceptance and validation lies beneath her arrogance and manipulative tendencies. Her greatest enemy isn't Cricket, it's her own inability to let go of the past. This latest scheme might be yet another last-ditch effort to make up for lost love and trust. Thematically, Monday's episode looks at revenge as a self-destructive cycle rather than a single act. Cricket's desire for peace and stability contrasts sharply with Phyllis's need for control. Their conflict exemplifies the age-old struggle between passion and restraint, order and chaos. Meanwhile, Nate's subplot suggests new beginnings, demonstrating that even in a town marked by betrayal, redemption is possible.